What if you could receive the benefits of antioxidant-rich botanicals by consuming something that just about everyone on the planet loves to snack on? Chocolate. Yes, chocolate has been found to be one of the most beneficial antioxidant-rich foods on the planet. But the chocolate the average consumer buys at the checkout stand is substantially different than the nutritionally enriched chocolate we're going to talk about today. The healthy chocolate comes from a tree called the cacao tree, which is grown in South America and Africa under very harsh conditions. The cacao tree produces a pod which has cacao seeds in it. This chocolate in the raw is then crushed into a powder. At this point, the chocolate is still in an unprocessed, pure, nutritious form. Back in the 1700s, people started something called the Dutching process. During that process, they alkalized the chocolate to get rid of the bitter flavor. Then the Europeans started adding milk and sugar to it, and voila, we had milk chocolate, which means more sugar, more dairy, more fat, combined with what once was nutritional cacao powder. Most of the chocolate we find in stores today has been significantly altered from its naturally nutritious state. This impure, highly processed form significantly alters and negates many of the true health benefits of chocolate. But there is true unprocessed chocolate that can be found, and it's not in your mother's cooking cabinet either. Yes, there is a chocolate that can improve your health and that actually tastes good. So you still think it's too good to be true? Let's listen to the people that have studied and experienced the life-enhancing benefits of unprocessed chocolate. Doctors.
Hi, my name is Dr. Steve Warren. I'm a practicing geriatric physician in Salt Lake City, Utah, where I currently am the medical director of numerous nursing homes in Salt Lake area, and practice also at a large hospice group, and specialize currently in geriatrics and have a very big interest in geriatric nutrition. My background is graduated from George Washington University in Washington, D.C., and board certified in family practice, as well as board certified in hospice and palliative medicine with a specialty in wound care, and also have a master's degree in epidemiology and public health and a PhD in public administration and policy analysis, and also finished master's work in exercise physiology. And so I've had that combination for my background, but currently I'm doing mostly geriatric and trying to improve the quality of life. I was very surprised with what I found looking up the health benefits of chocolate. I was starting to see in the literature some of the early reports on the benefits of dark chocolate in cardiovascular health. And when I started doing more research and looking into the history of chocolate and its medicinal uses, I was just amazed with the health benefits of dark chocolate. Several years ago, two sisters, PhD sisters in San Francisco, did some of the original research on the benefits of cocoa on blood pressure and lipids. And they found during that time that in their patients that were given dark chocolate, that it helped increase the blood vessels' flexibility and decrease the blood pressure. They also found some benefits with insulin in the patients. Harvard went and looked at 138 studies over the last 15 years that studied chocolate in various forms with cardiovascular health, and their conclusion was that dark chocolate definitely increased the good cholesterol, decreased the bad cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol, decreased triglycerides, it decreased blood pressure, it also increases nitric oxide, and their studies were conclusive that from all the studies they looked at, these 130 studies, that all of them showed the same benefit of dark chocolate. In my nursing homes, I've been seeing a lot of chronic illnesses, and this became one of my interests in finding out why there's so much chronic illness. And we found that a lot of the heart disease, the congestive heart failure, strokes are related to something called oxidation and inflammation. Oxidation is a process when we burn oxygen as a fuel. One of the byproducts is something called a free radical, which is a molecule that's lacking an extra electron. It's minus one of them. And it's going throughout our body trying to find another electron to sort of neutralize itself. These things are occurring in nanoseconds and occurring in trillions times a day in our body. It's been estimated that one of our DNA cells a day is being hit by 10,000 free radicals a day. And this free radical has been associated with a lot of the chronic illness, even from aging to wrinkled skin to cardiovascular disease to diabetes, is caused by this free radical and oxidation. One of the things that counters this is our natural body produces something called antioxidants. An antioxidant is a molecule that can donate an extra electron to the free radical and make it harmless. So our body has some natural antioxidants, but because of the stresses in our society from the high-fat foods, the high-sugar foods, from ultraviolet light, pollution, smoking, and lack of exercise, this has caused increased radicals. We need these extra antioxidants. Nature has provided us some antioxidants in fruits and vegetables. So for years, the government's recommended 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Well, that's because we need these extra antioxidants to protect our bodies and neutralize the free radicals and stop this oxidative process. So this group of, we call them phytonutrients, means phyto meaning plant, the nutrients from plants, have been investigated and classified into one big group called polyphenols, which is a group of chemicals that is an antioxidant that we can take from fruits and vegetables in our body to help neutralize this process. And one of the large categories within polyphenols is a category called flavonoids. Flavonoids is what are strong antioxidants that are found in fruits and vegetables that can neutralize this process. The government wanted to develop a test to see whether something's a very high antioxidant fruit or vegetable or very low. And they commissioned with a certain lab to develop a test called the ORAC test, the Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity Test. And this test is one that's done in a laboratory, and they look at whether something's very high or very low as an antioxidant and assign it a ORAC, called an ORAC value. And they found that this unpressed cocoa powder is one of the highest food products for an antioxidant fruit and vegetable. And so that really piqued my interest in getting involved in chocolate because it had this very high ORAC value, which meant very high antioxidant fruit and vegetable. And that particular antioxidant was stopping this free radical damage that's causing the chronic illnesses I'm seeing in my nursing homes. I want to, talk about a little bit about depression and the benefits of chocolate. It's been interesting that in half my population, half the month when I was in family practice, were coming to my office craving chocolate. Why am I wanting chocolate before period? And because they said, it's been recently shown that chocolate increases through the chain pathway dopamine and then serotonin, which are natural antidepressants. Serotonin has been published in the literature, decreasing depression, increase in moods. And we found that chocolate is loaded and can stimulate the production of serotonin and improves something called anandamide, which is the bliss chemical, and something called PEA, which is the love chemical. Both of these are chemicals that increase the mood, increase, well-being. And so we see, people, women especially, love chocolate because it decreases their depression. And so you eat things that make you feel good, which gets us back to the question on chocolate that most people ask is, well, it's probably the caffeine that's stimulating. But in natural cocoa, there's a minimal amount of caffeine. It's loaded with something called theobromine, which is a cousin of caffeine that doesn't have the stimulatory effect or the addicting effect like caffeine. But this theobromine, again, increases moods. It also is like its cousin theophylline and increases people's lungs and is bronchodilating, so people breathe better. It also, theobromine has been found to be one of the best cough syrups or cough suppressants there is. And so theobromine is what's been confused in the past caffeine. And it's the theobromine, the beneficial cousin that we're seeing in chocolate. And this combination is what's helping people feel better and elevating their mood. Chocolate's also been found to help with PMS and an area associated with that, fibromyalgia, both in the categories that it decreases inflammation in the body. It also increases these bioactive chemicals like tryptophan. Chocolate is loaded in magnesium. Magnesium often is found deficient in women with PMS, and so the combination of giving them chocolate increases the vitamins and minerals they need, decreases the inflammation in their body like fibromyalgia so they feel better, and it increases their mood. And so overall we're seeing a beneficial pattern with women with PMS, with individuals that have fibromyalgia. Chocolate also has been found to even help with neurodegenerative diseases, Parkinson's disease, by increasing dopamine. It's been found to help with decreasing neuropathy and helping the nerves repair themselves and the myelin sheaths repair themselves with the right amount of antioxidants. In my research, I found numerous people who start on the unprocessed dark cocoa having marked benefits with their macular degeneration, with improvement of their night vision improves, and the macular degeneration seems to decrease, and they're able to see better. And this has, again, been confirmed by University of Utah with their study of this gene that they just located that causes macular degeneration that seems to respond well to increased antioxidants in the diet.